about talented guys. We got a really good guest for you today. This guy is out of Connecticut, and he's going to be fighting for his first title on April 18th in Connecticut, in Hartford. Joining us right now is Jacob Lefty Marrero. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, Billy? How you doing? Thank you for
Good,
having me.
man. I appreciate you coming by. I know you're training and you're busy, so I got some questions for you. First of all, here's a question you probably have been asked a million times, all right? So you probably already know the answer. But what got you into boxing? What made you get into boxing?
Honestly, I told everybody, I just really woke up one morning and I was like, yo, I want to join the boxing gym. I was always into fighting. I was always athletic, and I really woke up one morning. I looked up a gym. I couldn't find nothing, and then my uncle one day came to the house a few years later, and he was like, "Hey, there's a gym, on the other side of town. Let me bring you to it." And he brought me, and my coach said I needed my mom and my dad to come, but my mom was always working. So I just kept coming back, always walking. And he kept telling me, like, hey, kid, like, you need to bring your mom, you need to bring your dad. And I was like, oh, my parents are always working. And then I just came, I kept coming. He was like, hey, just jump rope. And I jumped rope. He put some gloves on me, and then he started showing me. And then he started seeing I was picking up quick. And then the rest was history after that.
You know, I don't know if people have told you that, but that story, that experience is like a throwback, man. That's like, I've read those stories about old time fighters from the 20s and 30s that tell the same story. That's great. That makes me feel good because I always question, the history. We're losing some of the history. Yeah. I got a question for you. I know your nickname's Lefty. I know you're a southpaw, but on some of the documentation for you, it says you're an orthodox. Are you a switch hitter?
No, I don't even know why they put me as orthodox, but I've always been a left-handed fighter since I first started boxing. I try to practice orthodox, but I feel more comfortable southpaw.
Really, when I took a look at your last three fights, were all against pretty tough opposition. Your next fight, April 18th, is for your first title. How do you think those last three fights are going to help you in this one?
It's going to help me tremendously. I feel like I learn from every fight. I always go back to my films. I always try to study what I did wrong. I always try to outdo my performances. So, coming into this fight, I did a lot of film study on myself and also on my opponent. Try to work on the things that I was lacking in my previous fights. And, we've been training. We've been using those things. And I'm looking to put on a great performance, come 100% sharp, and every fight is gonna look different, and I'm ready to put on a great show and show the tools in my toolbox.
We got some people in the chat room, and I got a question for you here. My man, Coach. Actually, we have this new feature. We could do this. My man, Coach, asked Jacob. It's on the screen. It says, ask Jacob about his special pre-fight ritual. Small heart on his hand wrap. Asked Jacob to describe the camp as a sparring partner for Teofimo. So, this guy, hey, listen, I should have warned you about him. He always comes up with stuff, and half the guests are like, who is that guy? I know that guy from somewhere, So
my pre-fight ritual, I really isolate myself. I try to get my mind right. I eat a lot of food. I try to fuel up, but I really just try to get into that zone, that mental state. I try to remember what type of fighter I am, what's my attributes, what's my strength, what's my weaknesses, and I go back to everything that I've done in training, and I just try to remind myself that I'm the best fighter, and when I'm in top shape, I feel like a lot of dudes can't beat me. So I really just try to do a lot of mental preparations, and I just surround myself with good energy. Everybody that be around me during fight day is everybody that just want to see me win, do good, and speak nothing but positive energy into the air. So
I tell you just real quick, that your whole team, that whole CES team is. I love the camaraderie. You guys all. You're all buying into the system, and that means successful to me. That means it's going to end up being successful. Your opponent, Mr. Sanchez, is a tough guy. He's known for being tough. He never quits. He comes at you. He presses forward. He throws a lot of punches, and he's got momentum mentally because he's coming off the biggest win of his career. How do you plan on handling him?
Just sticking to my game plan, remembering what type of fighter I am. We've been training since January. I thought I was gonna be fine in February, but it didn't fall through. So I'm in great shape. I'm in top shape. I've done a lot of rounds and sparring, a lot of road work, and like I said, I did a lot of film study, and I'm pretty sure he did a lot of film study on me. So whatever he thinks that he saw in my previous fight is not gonna be what I'm bringing to this fight. I'm gonna come a lot sharper, a lot in better shape, and I'm expecting a great fight. I know he's a tough opponent. I don't underestimate nobody, and at the end of the day, we do this to feed our families, and one man gotta win and one man gotta lose, and I'm definitely coming to win.
You're 11-0, 8 knockouts. It seems, or to me, it seems like you're breezing through your opposition, even though when you dissect your opposition, you've been fighting generally with more experienced guys in every fight since you've been a pro. Do you feel personally that you need to step up and challenge yourself more, or do you feel that each fight has already been a challenge for you and you're starting to see yourself get better and better after each fight?
Yeah, I see myself every fight is a challenge. You never know, what could happen in the ring because one punch could change a fight. So, like I said, I always take them lessons from each fight and I apply it to my next fight. And this like I said, this fight right here, you're gonna see a whole different lefty, a whole different set of attributes that I didn't use in my previous fights. And I feel like I said, when I'm in top shape and I'm 100% focused, I feel like my skill set could, be in there with anybody. And come April 18th, I'm gonna just show that I'm on another level than a lot of people, and I feel ready, and I just appreciate everybody, for this the continuous support.
One thing I've always noticed with fighters, whether they're young fighters, real experience, especially you got to lean towards the younger fighters because especially somebody like you who wants to learn more and more, right? So you work on these new things in the gym and you start becoming proficient with it, and then you implement it in a fight. And, when the fight gets tough, isn't it pretty much automatic where you revert back to the most common things that you do, whether they're good or bad?
Yeah, I agree, and it's crazy that you say that because in one of my fights, I believe it was my eighth or ninth fight, I was fighting a guy more experienced than me, Wilfredo Flores, and I remember my coaches always tell me, anything happens in the ring, don't let it get to you, don't stay focused, don't let the crowd get to you, don't let the moment get to you, and I remember I was coming up and from a shot, and I was throwing a punch, and he caught me with a good left hand, and he stunned me and he rocked me. And I remember at that exact moment, I was like, "Oh, like this never happened to me before." And I just remember when my coach was saying to me, "Stay calm, don't let the that moment get to you." So I took my time, moved around the ring, I got my mind right, and then within like the next 30 seconds, I snapped right back out of it. I continued to box around good, and I watched the fight over and just listening to the commentator. They were like, "Wow, like." Still calm in that moment. They still thought I won the round, even though I got rocked. They still thought I won the round, but I finished strong, even though that pumped me for a shot. So I just try to remain patient at all times, even if I got the guy hurt or the guy hurt me. Patience is the thing. That's one of the things that I learned and continue to learn. So I take that.
Yeah, because like sometimes it just seems that we have fighters that you're working on something, and it's like you're overthinking because you're trying to apply what the newest thing, and it takes sometimes a shot back to get you into reality, and then you just go let me just be automatic so I can handle what's in front of me. So I mean, big fight. You're fighting for your first title. You're fighting in front of your hometown. Is there any added pressure on you?
Well, my hometown is Bridgeport, Connecticut. I'll be fighting Hartford, Connecticut. It's like an hour away, but it's still in Connecticut.
Right. It's not like Connecticut is Texas.
Yeah.
Come on, you know. You
I
know.
feel I'm so excited because I always used to say like I would like to fight in my hometown, even if it's for a belt, or defending a belt, or just a regular fight. You know, a lot of people always say, my dreams is playing North Macon or the Barclays Center, Madison Square Garden. Those are great opportunities. I would love to fight those. But my always dream was to fight in my hometown, which was Connecticut. So me fighting for my first belt, just an hour away in Connecticut, it's a big deal for me. And there's a couple of old fighters that won a belt in my town, but nobody has won this specific belt that I'm going for. So I'm extra excited. My whole gym is excited. My whole city excited to get so much love, so much support, and it just continues building the fire in me. I'm just ready to go out there. I'm ready for next week, and I'm ready to just great performance. Like, I'm super excited.
Well, I got faith in you. I think you're going to come out on top, but get business. You got to business is business. April 18th, you'll be and in Hartford, and people can get tickets. How?
Yeah, yes. Tickets still available. Contact me, Jacob Lefty Marrero, Facebook, Instagram. Coach Carlos Campez, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah, your audio is start. I'm not hearing your.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, now we hear you. So I missed a lot of that. Now, how can they get tickets? That's going to help you.
You could contact me directly from Jacob Lefty Marrero on Facebook or Instagram, or contact my coach Carlos Nieves, Facebook and Instagram. I just want to appreciate everybody in advance for coming out or checking the fight out live, Facebook or wherever y'all see it at. It's gonna be a great card. There's a lot of great prospect, a lot of great pro fighters, a great amateur show. Thank you to CES. Thank you to my team for this opportunity, and I'm looking for a great night. Looking to bring that belt back home and making everybody proud.
April 18th at the Connecticut Convention Center in Hartford, Connecticut. Hey, man,
Yes,
good luck. And after you win, you come back on and we'll talk about your victory.
Thank you so much, Billy. Thank you for taking time to do this interview with me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. Good luck, man.
All right. You too. Thank you.
Take care. That's my man, Jacob Lefty Marrero. And he is fighting. I love this group from Connecticut. We're seeing a lot of good young fighters from CES Boxing. When I think of Connecticut, two fighters pop into my head. Marlon Starling, if you're listening, my man, you're my man. And Iceman John Scully. When I think of Connecticut, listen, Connecticut has a whole history of great fighters, and I hope hopefully Lefty's going to be among them pretty soon. So get yourself some tickets. He told you where you could get it from him, or you could always check out cesfights.com.